Welcome back. We are here at LUMS and in the middle of a great discussion. A study conducted by the University of Göttingen over the period of 1967 to 2007 on factors affecting employment choices in Pakistan concluded that informal sectors like casual daily wage earners and petty traders dominate the job market. Majority of these non-farm activities are survival-oriented and have little to do with wealth accumulation. Similarly, the importance of individual, household, and community-related variables like education, age, income, household size, working members, and location factor in household employment decisions. Is that true? And if the majority of these non-farm activities are survival-oriented and they have little to do with wealth accumulation, then where do we see, as far as the social status stigma is concerned, where do we see our entrepreneurs going from here? If they are basically the breadwinners, and if it's a young one who has to take care and shoulder the burden of the family, how do we remove this social status stigma?
I think we shouldn't underestimate the level of entrepreneurship in our country. I mean, you look around yourselves, any number of transporters, any number of developers have come from very humble backgrounds. So this suggestion that somehow there is a barrier stopping entrepreneurship happening is, I don't think, correct. Entrepreneurship happens, people have the urge to move on, they move on with all the disadvantages of background, of education, and so on. So I don't really think that, the issue here is not that somehow you're stigmatized and that stops you being an entrepreneur.
But it is a bit of resources as well, even if it's not just a stigma or a status issue or a proving a fact to your family or the society.
See, entrepreneurship
80% of the population
is about overcoming lack of resources. I mean, if you start with a golden spoon in your mouth, then you really don't need to be an entrepreneur to make it. So anywhere that you care to look at, anywhere around the world and inside Pakistan, you'll see people who start with nothing and who achieve a great deal.
Andalib, I'd like to address this to you. Given that the option for loans to entrepreneurs that don't have collateral to offer, you have to be rich to borrow, are very limited, and we don't have many venture capitalists in Pakistan. What other sources can one explore? Realistically, what options does the youth have?
I think basically I totally agree with what is being said at the moment. I think one of the qualities of being an entrepreneur is risk-taking. So whether you have 1 rupee in your pocket or you have ₹1 billion in your pocket, when you go and you venture into something new, it is going to be a risk. And I think the idea behind a true entrepreneur, and everybody cannot be an entrepreneur, is that he has a vision, he can see what others cannot see, he sees an opportunity lying which others feel is probably an opportunity gone or an opportunity not there. And then the second thing that he has, which is extremely important and which I think is lacking in us as a society, as a culture, is that it takes time. It takes tenacity.
Patience.
It takes patience. It takes persistence. Jalal is an entrepreneur, I am an entrepreneur, and we can recount days on end when at the end of the day, we would think back and say, okay, why are we doing this? Why don't we just shut down this and go home? We don't have a single penny in our pocket. And what you see of Jalal now or me of now is a cumulative hard work of maybe 8 to 10 years of persistence and perseverance and patience. And what I feel that most important, regardless of which country you are in, is the fact that you have a vision and you're not going to give it up. And you're not going to give it up when the government is not going to help you. You're not going to give it up when your parents are not going to help you. And you're not going to give up when your customers are telling you you are selling rubbish. Because inside you believe that if you put in enough hard work and if you keep the passion up with the vision, it will materialize. And let me tell you, that is exactly how it happens. And if it doesn't happen, it's because you haven't tried enough.
Thank you, Andalib. Any questions? I think that should move, yes, a couple of hands.
Sayyid Liwas Raja is my name, and I am from A-Levels. There are 3 basically reasons why entrepreneurship has failed in Pakistan.
Okay.
One is the landed elite, but let's not get it political. Second is, as Madam has just mentioned, that people like to take shortcuts. And if you want to take shortcuts, you will go nowhere. The third thing is that we have failed to live as a nation. Supposedly, if one person a person sees an other friend being a successful entrepreneur, his business is rising, flourishing, and that same person would like to plot against his own friend because he would be jealous or he would be envious. So don't you think so that the main 2 points is that first we like to take shortcuts, and second we would not like to see our friends, our family to flourish? What are your opinions about that?
Jalal, please.
I don't think this is actually going in the right direction at all, because I don't think that this discussion is about Pakistan and the terrible state of affairs in Pakistan. If you want to do business anywhere in the world, I mean, there are people sitting in Afghanistan and they're doing import-export business through a government monopoly, and they're making tens of millions of rupees. If you want to do something, I don't think, I mean, if I woke up in the morning and I looked at the newspaper and I said, oh my God, the budget deficit in Pakistan has become so many billion rupees. Now what am I going to do? Oh my God, you know, we don't have electricity. How am I going to run my office? Oh my God, you know, it's just, it can't work like that. Because these are the things that I think you need to, you know, overlook, and you still need to go ahead and do your work. I don't think it's about the state of the country. This is, I think the discussion is going, if we're talking about entrepreneurship, the discussion, yes, it may be that we may not have the same fantastic entrepreneurial vision that, let's say, a society like the United States or even Ireland today has. But that's not the point. The point is that we're still connected to the rest of the world. We still have an exchange of ideas with the rest of the world. There's more, it's more cosmopolitan today for a person sitting anywhere in the world.
Sorry, we're running out of time. I would like to thank the panelists and the enthusiastic audience, and please do join us next week for the remainder of this discussion. We would like to hear from you, so do email us on open.frequency@dawnnews.tv and do SMS us. Thank you and goodbye.